Hey everybody, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Ukraine, a Ukraine update, and we'll also talk a little bit about Canada, what's going on there, because I think it's connected to a certain degree, or at least from a media distraction standpoint. What's going on in Canada is related to the hysteria in and around Ukraine, at least from the Biden White House and from the globalist mainstream media. But the latest developments as to what's going on the front lines, I'm not going to get into the military specifics. If you really want to get good detail as to what's going on the front lines from a military standpoint, I mean, you can go to Sputnik, you can go to the Saker, and they give Sputnik gives regular updates as to what's going on the front lines. And the Saker website gives pretty much daily, sometimes twice a day updates. And, you know, it has a lot of good information as to the military situation. But in a nutshell, what's happening, and I'll put those links down below for anyone that wants to reference those resources. In a nutshell, what's going on right now is, you know, there's fighting. The Donbass, East Ukraine military, they've been mobilized. The Ukraine forces are trying to push through the contact line, and they're trying to advance. They're pretty much throwing everything they have at breaking through the front line. And for the moment, it looks like the Donbass military, the Donbass militia, the East Ukraine, they're holding the line. This could change. You know, it might break down, and the Ukraine army may break through. But for the moment, as I'm shooting this video, the line is holding. There's some casualties that are being reported on both sides. Some shells have actually been found in Rostov. Some Ukraine shells were actually found in Rostov. That's deep inside Russia. So, you know, things could get out of hand and things could become dangerous from that respect. But for the most part, it's a lot of fighting, and the Ukrainians are trying to advance, and they haven't been successful yet. And that's you know, that's the main point there. If they do manage to break through, the Ukraine military, if they manage to break through the front lines, well, then the Russians will definitely step in. On a first level, they'll step in covertly to provide as much support as they can to the Donbass military, to the East Ukraine military. And if that doesn't hold and the Ukraine army advances further, then the Russian military will step in. And I've seen some videos of the training of the Russian military, some of the weapons that they use and some of the training exercises. And I'm telling you, if the Russians step in, it is going to be a quick and swift annihilation of the Ukraine army. Very quick and very swift and very devastating. But as I said in my previous video, the Russians prefer to not get involved overtly. They would prefer for the East Ukraine army to hold that line, to hold the Ukraine forces off. And if they do have to get involved, they'll get involved first from a covert level, and then if things don't look well, then they'll actually step in. But you know, I think we've got some days and maybe weeks ahead of us to get a clear picture as to how this will unfold. I don't personally believe that the Ukraine army will advance to the point where Russia has to overtly step in. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that'll happen. And all indications show that so far things are holding up. But like I said, it could change. It could definitely change, and the Ukraine army could advance. But keep in mind, the longer the Donbass militia holds the line, the more things start to break down for Ukraine, for the Ukraine military, for Zelensky. Where the hell am I? Okay, I know where I am. For Zelensky and for the entire Russia's going to invade hysteria project. So the more the militia can hold that line, the more the entire narrative breaks down. So that's where we are with regards to that. Now, Canada, this has served as a great distraction for Biden and the globalists and the mainstream media, because they can focus on Russia, and not talk one bit about what's going on in Canada. In other words, the media and the Biden White House, they can focus on the evil dictator in Russia that wants to expand the empire and destroy democracy, and they can completely ignore the real dictator, because Putin is this imaginary caricature that they've created, but they can ignore the real dictator in Canada and what he is doing to the Canadian Charter of Rights, to the Canadian people, to freedom, to the protesters and the truckers. So this has served as a great distraction. The Biden White House is like convening their national security team, and they're talking about Ukraine nonstop and doing press conferences, and it's all about Ukraine. Meanwhile, nothing about Canada. Not one peep about Canada. And that's served perfectly for the Biden White House. Also for the media. Keep in mind, the media doesn't want to report on Canada either, because trucker protests against the mandates, it goes against the entire narrative that we've been hearing for 2 years, doesn't it? So the media can ignore this as well. And the media, well, they love the whole Russia thing, Russia bad, Biden good, Russia evil, Biden strong, Putin dictator, Biden democracy. The media loves to play that up, right? Russia. So they could focus on that all day. So the Canada, the timing of this fits perfectly for in order to distract from what's going on in Canada. So, I've talked about a lot of narratives, the canceling of Nord Stream 2, covering up Jake Sullivan and Hillary Clinton and what they're doing, giving a purpose to NATO, military-industrial complex, all these things. But another narrative of all of this is, and the timing of all of this, in other words, ordering the Ukraine army to go on the offensive, serves as a great distraction from what's going on in Canada. Focus on the imaginary dictator in Russia and ignore the real dictator up north. Anyway, guys, that is the video, theduran.locals.com. Check my channel out, check Alexander's channel out, and the Duran channel. Take care from a cloudy Athens, Greece.